Hi, welcome to Author Straight Talk with Sarah Gerdes. My name is Chuck. That is Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, Chuck.
So, this is video number one in a series of videos that we're going to do leading up to the launch of your new book, which is called...
Author Straight Talk.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that. Now, I'm not an aspiring author. I know people that are, and I know the people that are have 1,000 questions about how to do this, how to become an
Mhm.
author. But one of the biggies that nobody seems to really be talking about, Sarah, and that is the issue of money. Am I going to make money? How do I make money? Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, I just need to back up and say that every reader is an aspiring author. That's just, I think you have an author in you just waiting to get out. Um, the money is really interesting. Most people will tell you, I'm not in it for the money. And I think that's a very good thing because there's not a lot of money in it until you become very successful. Now, if you're one of the rare people that you're a celebrity or you're a well-known personality like Hillary Clinton or Gwyneth Paltrow, you're coming in with a brand. The rest of us, the unwashed masses, are endowed with an idea and some extra time on our hands to write. So let me make it simple. There are two ways to make money, okay? One is from the book itself, and that is split into three forms: the advance, the royalties, and the bonuses, okay? So that's part number one. Part number two is the ancillary forms of revenue that come outside the book itself. Those would be speaking events, workshops, symposiums, merchandising your book, corporate clients that might come about because of your book if you're working in the nonfiction area. So just to summarize, there are two different ways to make money. Again, one is the book itself, where you have advances, the royalties, and the bonuses. And the second part is the ancillary or secondary lines of revenue that you're going to receive as an author. So just set that as a baseline.
Now, those are assuming that I've actually signed a book deal, right?
Good question. So now we're going to implode your brain, Chuck, a little bit. But I wished I would have had this information when I started out because I didn't. So here we go. Get your pen and paper out. There are three different ways to bring your book to market, very simplistically, okay? And I do go into a lot of detail in Author Straight Talk about the minutia of each one of these and the pros and cons. But to make it simple, you have mainstream publishing. That mainstream, the word is also synonymous with traditional publishing, like Simon & Schuster, HarperCollins, Scholastic, and the like. Those entities, you will need an agent, you will have a contract, and from the time you finish your book to the time you get your first check is typically 4 years. Okay. Now, the second form of getting your book to market is through an independent publisher. Sometimes they will pay you, sometimes you will pay them. Okay, so there's some detail there, but that is the second route to market. The time that you will get your money in from that is about 2.5 years. It can be a lot shorter, but you're going to pay a little bit more. The last part, and the reason and the avenue really so many authors are taking to get their book to market, even mainstream published authors, is self-publishing. It's also called publish on demand. And then the third word that people are using is you're independently publishing yourself. So that means you can get your book to market very quickly. You are going to earn 70% of the royalties. And if you sell enough books, if you make $100 a day, you can get that money in that same day. So to backtrack, you've got three routes to market: mainstream, 4 years to market, 4 years, to get your money in; independent publishing through a small press; or self-publishing.
And so the $1 million question, or maybe it's the $4.50
Yeah.
question, which way is right for me as an aspiring author?
Okay, well, as I write about in the book, you need to actually do some self-analysis. There's a 41-year-old former paramilitary gentleman who's now a technical writer over in Britain, and he's 41. So you have to look at your age. How old are you? How much time do you have to spend to write your book, get an agent, and go through the just submission process, which is typically 6 to 9 months. So if you're 27 and you think, sure, I've got 5 years to try and get my mainstream deal so I can get on the bookshelves at the local, bookstore, more power to you. If you're an older author or you're just an impatient person, maybe you want to go the self-publishing route. I interviewed a guy, he's a billionaire. He wanted to get a book out. He paid $15,000 to a ghostwriter. He paid $20,000 to a small independent press. So he's in 25 and he got his book out in 9 months. Just as a side note, Chuck, the average self-published book sells 257 copies and makes $1,200. Well, you compare that to the fact that there was 500 and was it 71 million books sold in 2015. Somebody's buying them. If people weren't buying books, nobody would do it. Publishers would go out of business. But they are, and there's always an opportunity for a new book, and that new book could be yours. So the bottom line is, look at your age, look at your situation in life, look at your financial status, and make a determination based on those criteria of what is the best route for you.
So it sounds to me like, Sarah, that starting out writing a book because you want this to be your retirement fund is probably not the
No,
best way to go about
no,
it, right?
no. I mean, this is why actors have day jobs, and this is
Right.
why musicians actually they have their night gigs and they continue to do their day job. I mean, a funny story is my agent. He was a bestseller over in Britain. He's been an agent here for many years. However, he's a musician by night. I mean, we are multifaceted individuals, and we don't have the luxury to just stop and go writing. I mean, I worked full time for a decade before I wrote my fiction book. And even then, I was still doing consulting. And in fact, I still do consulting today, and I consider writing my full-time job, but I continue to have regular forms of money coming in because I want that supplement. I don't want the stress in my life.
Well, I know people watching this video right now want to stay connected. They want to get more information even before your book, Author Straight Talk, comes out. So, how do people stay connected with you in between all of these videos as we release them?
Well, we have a couple different ways. First is my website, so sarahgerdes.com. I put up a lot of articles. There's quite a few business articles up there for authors, and you can take a look at that. Instagram is my fun author social media outlet. So announcements, news, just part of my life. What is it like to be an author? And then Facebook. I need to get better about that, but there is a Facebook page as well. We also have YouTube at YouTube/Chambers Series. So with more subscribers, that might be changed over one day to Sarah Gerdes, but right now it's YouTube/Chambers Series. And then also Goodreads. So you can go on Goodreads, you can see reviews, you can actually put up your own. And the blog that's up there is also connected to my website. So you're going to get the most information from that as well.
Earlier in this video, Sarah mentioned other ways that authors make money, not just on the books. We'll go into more detail on that next time right here on Author Straight Talk with Sarah Gerdes.